shop owner has died in the Santa or in any Raitu Bazaar.
एक ही जगह पे मिलके those type of plastics are known as thermosetting plastics. Comparison, there are 3 types:
up, down, right, left.
I am not inferior to anyone.
We are Sweros. We are top on the Everest. Congratulations.
I want to be a leader.
Hi Sweros, good afternoon. I am Kiranmai, studying in second year BPC from TSWREIS, Zaffargadh, Warangal. I am going to teach the subject English. So, friends, can you tell me what are the things which I am going to show? Yes, now you can see here a picture, and this picture shows you some people working with some things. So, can you point out what are the things? Yes, they are working with some. Here you can see some wires, some computers, and they are going to program a video program, right? Yes. Now, here we can see that these people are working with some tools. Yes. So, can you tell the word which is related to these things? Yes, it is nothing but tools. Okay. Yes. Now, let us see another picture. Okay, here what can you see? Yes, these are the equipments which are used by a doctor, and she is a doctor. So, here you can see a doctor wearing a stethoscope around her neck, and these are the tools which are used by a doctor. Next, here you can see a carpenter, and he is using these tools. That is, here we can see the tools which are used by a carpenter. Okay, Sweros? Yes, these are some of the tools which are used by a carpenter. Now, let us see a welder. Yes, he is a welder, and let us see the machinery which is used by a welder. So, this is the machinery which is used by a welder. Here are some of the things which are used by a welder. So, Sweros, can you say whom are you seeing in this? Yes, you can see teachers. As we see all the teachers daily in our hostel and in our schools, we are aware of what the things which are used by a teacher. Here you can see a teacher. She is using a pointer to point out. She is using chalk, duster, books, pencils, pens, etc. Yes? Okay. Here you can see some of the articles which are used by a teacher. Here we can see our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, teaching a student in a school. And here we can see a board, and these are the modern things or machinery or articles which are used by the teachers to teach the students. So, Sweros, can you point out who is he? Yes, these are farmers, as we all of us know that agriculture is the main backbone for our country, and if the farmers are the one who produce food for us and give food for us. And here we can see some of the tools which are used by a farmer. Yes, these are the tools which are used by a farmer. Yes, Sweros? Yes, and now can you tell a word which is related to this things, that is machinery, articles, and what I have stressed? Yes, it is nothing but equipment. Today I am going to teach the poem Equipment, and it is written by Edgar Albert Guest, and our poet is Edgar Albert Guest. So, Equipment is an inspirational poem, and it tells a message, that is, a father gives an advice to his son in the form of this equipment poem. So, now let us know about our poet, Edgar Albert Guest. Edgar Albert Guest is a poet, and he was born in 1880, and he is the most famous poet, and he was born in Birmingham, England. And he published the collections of poems such as Just Glad Things, It Takes a Heap Over Living, etc. And this poem was published in 1934. Here you can see our poet Edgar Albert Guest. Okay, Sweros. Now let us move on to stanza 1. Stanza 1. Figure it out for yourself, my lad. You have all that the greatest of men have had: 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and a brain to use if you would be wise. With this equipment they all began, so start from the top and say, I can. Sweros, here the first line says that, figure it out for yourself, my lad. The father advises his son to start or to think what he is going to say and understand what he is going to say. Here lad means a young boy. You have all the equipment which the great people have had. God have equipped us all with the same equipment, and that equipment is given here. God has given us 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 eyes, 2 legs, and a brain to use if we are wise. So this is the equipment which is given by God to us, and here we can see. So Sweros, can you tell who is she? She is Sudha Chandran, and what is she doing in this picture? She is dancing. And let us know about Sudha Chandran. Sudha Chandran was born in Kannur, Kerala on September 21st, 1964, and in June 1981, while travelling to Tamil Nadu, she met with an accident in which she lost her legs and her legs were wounded. She received the initial medical treatment from the rural hospital, and doctors discovered that a gangrene had formed on her right leg and amputation was required in order to save her life. Okay, Sweros, here you can see that Sudha Chandran is the most acclaimed dancers of India, and you know that she being having a disability, she faced all the problems in her life, and she is successful now. So let us see. So here we can see our poem, and the father also says that this is the equipment which is given by a father by the God to his son, to all of us, and a brain to use if we would be wise. With this equipment they all began. All the great people who are successful had began their life in the same way with which we have these equipment. We also have the same equipment which all the great people have. And so start from the top and say I can. So start from the top, start from now. The father asked his son to start his life from now, and so that he could be successful in his future. And the I can is a word which builds confidence in you so that you can face all the problems in your life and become successful in your life. So remember, Sweros, you can use the word I can. And now here we saw about Sudha Chandran, and despite being a physically disabled person, Sudha Chandran faced all the problems, and now she is one of the most acclaimed and inspirable dancer. Yes, right? Yes. Now let us know. Okay, Sweros, now I have a doubt. Can you even move from your place without having legs? No, you can't, right? But here I am going to introduce a person who doesn't have a leg, but she conquered Mount Everest. Do you want to know who is she? Yes, she is none other than Arunima Sinha. No? Yes, she is Arunima Sinha. Sweros, here you can see Arunima Sinha, and she achieved the great thing, that is she conquered the Mount Everest. Now let us know about Arunima Sinha. Arunima Sinha was a 27-year-old lost, and she lost her left leg in an unfortunate accident on April 11, 2011. Despite the fact she lost the leg, she did not give up. She conquered Mount Everest with her prosthetic leg. And Sweros, hope you all are famous with Anand and Purna, right? Yes, they have conquered the Mount Everest. Motivated by Anand and Purna, recently 31 of our tribal welfare and social welfare residential school students have conquered the Mount Renock, which is situated in Kanchenjunga, which is up to 17,000 feet, and this is the rate feat they have performed, and this is also known as the second toughest mountain in India. So can you imagine an amputee conquering Mount Everest? Yes, this is what she have achieved. This is known as urge. If you have an urge that you can be successful in all the things which you do in your life. So now let us move on to another picture, that is none other than beggars. Yes, we find many beggars, and also India has a problem of beggars, and also here you can see some of the robbers. So Sweros, what are these people doing? All of us are created with the same equipment, but these people, that is robbers and beggars, they bring a big disgrace to their own families and also to our country. So please utilize the equipment which you have. If you use your equipment in a correct way, then you can be successful in your life. And the people who don't use the equipment in a correct way end their life in a big misery. So do you want it? No. Then you have to face all the problems in your life by using all your equipments. This is about stanza 1, and here you can see the God given equipment, that is arms, eyes. Here you can see hands, legs, and a brain to use if we are wise. So this is the God given equipment to us. And now here you can see the eyes. Eyes are compared to lens, and our human brain is compared to a computer, and these are the machines, and these are compared to our hands, our legs. And now let us move on to stanza 2. The stanza 2 says as that. Okay, now let us move on to stanza 2. Look to the people who are wise and great. Look on to the people who are wise and great. They take their food from a common plate, and they use the similar knives and forks which we use. They use the similar laces to tie their shoes. With this equipment they all began, and hence, but you have all they had when they made their start. Okay, Sweros, here the father says that observe the people who are great and wise. They take their food from a common plate. We take our food from a common plate, and the great people also take their food from this common plate, and they use the similar knives and forks which we use, and they also tie their shoes with the same laces which we tie. Yes, there is nothing remarkable about their shoes. And here the poet also says that if you have the equipment, please utilize it in a correct way. All the great people have the same equipment, and if you use this equipment, you can be successful in your life. The world considers them brave and smart. Why does the world considers them brave and smart? Okay, now I am going to tell you. The persons who are great and successful have some special qualities such as courage, consistency, determination, dedication, etc. So these are some of the special qualities which keep the people away from all the problems and make them successful, and hence the world considers them brave and smart. This is all about a stanza 2, and now let us look on what we have here. Sweros, can you tell me who is he? Yes, we all are very famous about him. He is none other than our Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, our Baba Saheb, and our hero. Yes, we Sweros considered Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as a hero. Why? Can you tell me? Yes, now I am going to tell some of the aspects of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is considered as the father of Indian Constitution, and he is a well-noted economist. He is a well-noted economist. And here you can see that during his childhood, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar faced a lot of problems. In his childhood, he was a victim of untouchability. Even to drink water, his peon has to pour water to him so that he would drink, and if there is no peon that day, there is no water for him. Hence, there is no peon and no water. So, this is the problem which is faced by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. But now we remember him as a great leader, and he is the father of our Indian Constitution. He was nominated as the chairman of the Indian Constitution by the Constituent Assembly formed newly in that days, and hence we consider him as a great person. Sweros, if you take inspiration of such people such as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, we can be successful in our life. And he also fought against the rights or for reservations for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe members to get jobs in civil services, schools and colleges. Such was his great determination towards his work, and hence he is a successful person. So, this is all about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now, let us see about another great personality, that is none other than Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. So, all of you know who is Mother Teresa, and we are all famous, very familiar about her. Mother Teresa started missionaries of charity in Kolkata, and her work was to care for the people who are unloved, uncared and rejected by the society. Can you imagine a person moving on the road, or a beggar moving on the road, cared by any person? No, we can't. But Mother Teresa put all her efforts into one. She gathered all the people together and she won many of her awards for her great service to humanity. This is all about Mother Teresa. So, here we can see that here we have a plate, and this plate is used by the great people, and common people take their food from this common plate, and they also use the similar knives and forks which we use. And here we can see the shoe with lace. Great people, we cannot determine that great people have such type of lace and shoes. They are also having the same laces to tie their shoes, and this is about the shoe which the great people use. And let us move on to stanza 3. Here we can see that stanza 3 tells us that you have the same equipment which all the people have, and if you have a great determination. So, what is meant by determination? Yes, it is nothing but a great urge. If you have a great determination and willpower, you can do everything in your life. So, this will be seen in our third stanza. Here you can see the third stanza. You can triumph and come to win. You can be great if only you will. You are well equipped for what fight you choose. You have legs and arms and a brain to use, and the man who has risen great deeds to do began his life with no more than you. So, here if we take a third stanza, you can triumph and come to win by using your skills. So, here we can take the example of the skills, that is communication skills. What are communication skills? Communication skills are must and should in nowadays for us, and hence our secretary sir introduced E+ clubs with much effort, and now we are able to speak in English, teach in English and even sing in English. Wow, it is a wonder, right? Yes, if you have communication skills, then you can be successful in whichever thing you do nowadays. And I thank our secretary sir for including this E+ club for us and improving the communication skills among the students in our society. So, here the poet also says that you can be great if only you will. What is when my will? Yes, willpower is nothing but the inner confidence. If you have a confidence in you that you can do everything with a good willpower, then you are told as great person. So, you are well equipped for what fight you choose. Sweros, are you having all equipments, that is the God gifted equipment? Yes, you have, and hence utilize all this equipment to overcome the hurdles which you face in your life. Yes, okay. Now, here the God has given us the same equipment, and we use the same equipment and the great people also use the same equipment as considered. Okay, here you can see that we can see many great people. Yes, we have Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and most of the people who are very great. So, these people who are great had some special qualities such as determination, courage, consistency, etc. So, here the poet says that you have legs and arms and a brain to use. So, this is nothing but the God given equipment, and if you use this equipment in a correct way, then you can be successful in your life. And the man who has risen had great deeds to do. Here we can see that the man who has risen is nothing but the man who is great, had done many great deeds, that is great works, and he has done many great things to us. And here you can also say that he began his life in the same way as which we began. Yes, all the great people started their life in the same way as we began, and they also end their life in the same way as we do. So, here now I am going to show you a person who is considered as a great scientist, a leader and a former president, who is none other than APJ Abdul Kalam. So, now let us know about him. APJ Abdul Kalam. Here you can see the pictures and some of the successful quotes which are given by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Man needs success in his difficulties because They are necessary to enjoy success. He says that if you have any difficulties, there is necessary to have a difficulty to face the success. Yes, if we face many difficulties, that is hurdles in our life, then we can be successful. And here we can also see, now I am going to tell about APJ Abdul Kalam. APJ Abdul Kalam was born on October 15th, 1913, and he was born on the island of Dhanushkodi of the South Indian coast. His initial dream was to become a fighter pilot, but he failed to qualify for Indian Air Force. One of the first projects he worked on was to design a small helicopter for Indian Army. Kalam grew up in a humble surroundings and had to take up the job while he was still in school in order to augment his family. He distributed newspapers to help his father in providing for the family. He was a bright young boy, blessed with the thirst of knowledge and was always eager to learn new things. Abdul Kalam was also a noted author who had penned books like Wings of Fire and Autobiography, etc. So here, by considering the life of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, we can say that if we have a strong determination, we can face all the hurdles in our life. Yes, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is remembered as a great scientist, an author, a leader and also a lecturer. He is all for us, but the world of science lost the man of science recently in July 27, 2015. Here we see that we have a great loss of the man of science. Yes, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam passed away with a sudden cardiac arrest on July 27, 2015. But now also he is remembered as a great person and considered as a great person. So, my dear sparrows, if you have opportunities, please utilize such opportunities. And here you can see another great person. And can you identify who is he? Yes, he is none other than Stephen Hawking. So, Stephen Hawking says that however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. This quote is given by Stephen Hawking. And let us know some of the information about Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking was born on January 8, 1942 in Oxford, England to Frank and Isabel Hawking, and he has two younger sisters and adopted brother. And for his communication, Hawking initially raised his eyebrows to choose letters on a spelling card with an equalizer. Hawking has made major contributions to the field of general relativity. These derived a deep understanding of what is relevant to physics and astronomy and from a mastery of wholly new mathematical techniques. And though he is a disabled person, he is successful in his work he did. To our surprise, he is a scientist, a science writer, an author and a normal human being with the same desires, drives, dreams and ambitions, etc. So, here we can see that if a person has a strong determination and willpower, he can win everything. Can you imagine a person without moving, doing any work? No, we can't imagine. At the age of 21, Stephen Hawking was disabled and he was even unable to move. And he used a computer programming called equalizer to communicate the people around him. So, we can understand how worse his situation was, but he faced all the problems in his life. He gave out the theory of general relativity for physics and astronomy and wholly new mathematical techniques in our history. So, can you imagine a person doing this? No, but if you have a strong determination and urge, and if you are not well equipped also, you can face all the challenges in your life with a strong determination and you can face successful a lot. You can be successful a lot in your life. So, coming up next, we will see about a famous person. So, my dear friends, can you identify who is he? Hope all you are very familiar about him. He is none other than Nick Vujicic. So, let us know about Nick Vujicic. Nick Vujicic was born on December 4th, 1982, Melbourne, Australia. He was born without legs, arms. He had no legs but two small feet, one of which had two toes. And he realized that he wasn't unique in his struggles and began to embrace his lack of limbs. So, here we can see that Nick Vujicic. Can you even imagine a person without hands and legs moving, doing his own works? No, if we don't have even a finger, we cannot work in a proper way. But Nick Vujicic, without even hands and legs, he can type number of words on a keyboard by using toe touch method. He can comb his hair, he can brush his teeth, and besides that he can also swim, and also he can play golf. So can you imagine a person doing such things? No, but here we can take inspiration of Nick Vujicic. People like Nick Vujicic face many problems during their childhood. Nick Vujicic want to commit a suicide. Do you know that? No. Yes, he wants to commit suicide, but he was inspired by his mother. His mother showed him an article in a newspaper saying that there is a person with severe disability, but he faced all the problems, and hence we can see him as a successful person, and he is the greatest person whom I have seen in this whole world. Yes, now let us see about the quotes which are given by Nick. I am going to try again and again, because the moment we give up is the moment we fail. As long as I try, there is always a chance of getting up. So these are some of the main quotes and successful quotes which are given by Nick Vujicic. Now let us see about another famous person who faced the disability and had become a successful person. Can you identify who she is? Yes, she is none other than Helen Keller. Helen Keller. So you can see here the picture of Helen Keller. And let us know about Helen Keller. Helen Adams Keller was born on June 27, 1880, Alabama, US. She was made blind and deaf through fever at age of 19 months. And can you imagine, despite being blind and deaf, she had a great sense of communication, and she used to communicate, and she had a remarkable gift for communication. She learned to read and write braille and to read lips by feeling the shapes and vibrations formed by the people's mouth as they speak. So can you imagine a person without ears and eyes doing such a great deeds? No. Hence that's why, because they have a great urge and determination, they are considered as great people. And here we can also see Helen Keller. She faced a lot of problems in her life, but now we remember her as a famous economist, and also she is a feminist also, who worked a lot for the rights for women. So this is all about Helen Keller, and now I am going to show you some of the success quotes. Here we can see some of the success quotes, such as most great people have attained their greatest success just one step beyond their greatest failure. This quote was given by Napoleon Hill. And here you can see another quote, that is, success is never achieved by the size of your brain. It is always achieved by the size of your thoughts. And here you can see another quotation, that is, failure is success if we learn from it. This was given by Malcolm Holmes. And here you can see another success quote, that is, failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently, and this was given by Henry Ford. And here we can see another success quote, that is, success is the sum of small efforts which is repeated day in and day out. And here you can see another quote, that is, success isn't overnight, it takes years. Success is yours. And the secret to know success is to know something nobody else knows. And friends, this is all about equipment which we have, and these are some of the successful quotes. Here we can see that people who are facing a lot of problems are not yet utilizing their equipment in a correct way. If you utilize your equipment in a correct way, then you can be successful persons. And here the advice, many people have advised you to use your equipment in a correct way so that you can be successful in your life. We have many problems. Life is like a big great ocean, and we have to be the swimmers to overcome all the ebbs and tides of our life. Yes, right. If we don't have problems, there is no life. Success and failure are like two sides of a coin. Sometimes we face success and sometimes we face failure. Failure is nothing but defeat. If you think that you are defeated, then you meet failure, and hence you should be confident that you can face all the problems in your life. Success is then achieved when you put all your efforts together and work hard to get the ability. So here, if you want to face success, then you have to become, if you want to become a great person, to be successful, you have to face all the problems in your life so that you can be successful and great person.